Hello, everyone. We're entering the holiday, holy day season. Coming up real soon, as you know, is Thanksgiving, which is hopefully for all of us just a special time to be with family and be reminded how thankful we're called to be. I want to share with you a story. Thanksgiving is often a time for storytelling in families. It's one you may have heard before, but it's one that I know means a lot to me, and I reflect on it every year around this time. As you already know, my mom raised me as a single parent. I was an only child, and the two of us were very close, except in my teenage years. I've mentioned those, but we reconnected and became very close to one another once I was at the University of Akron, and also after I had come into the Catholic community, and through that came to a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ that had an influence on my life, especially in appreciating the gift of my mom and treating her lovingly and not taking her for granted, and also asking her forgiveness for the times I had been pretty mean-spirited in my high school years and pretty selfish. So, in saying that, when I got to the campus ministry, and then eventually I got to St. Martha Parish in '85 as a pastor, my mom became ill that year. She had breast cancer. And I was the pastor just for a few months, and she came and stayed at the rectory there at St. Martha for a couple months in order to recover. Well, she did recover, lived way longer than they thought, because the advanced in the breast cancer, they thought she only had a few months, but she lived 10 more years. And we were very close there. The people at the parish loved her. She had a good, joyful spirit about her, and very positive even for dealing with various illnesses from time to time. Anyway, this story goes back, some of you have heard it. She developed another form of serious cancer after she'd been there about 10 years. And the following Thanksgiving Day, this is where the story comes from, I knew that Thanksgiving my mom was probably going to be her last with us together, and that in fact she went home to be with the Lord 6 months later. But this particular Thanksgiving, I wanted it to be very special. I knew it would be the last. She probably had that sense too, although we didn't talk about it. So even though I'm not much a cook at all, I was going out. I told her I made a decision I would go out and buy turkey and all the trimmings and everything, and get it from a neighborhood grocery store and be able to bring it in, and all I'd have to do is heat it up. But it would be everything, and it would be the two of us at the rectory at St. Martha. Well, when I told her this and was all excited about I could do this, she said, "I don't want that." I said, "Why don't you want it? This is a special Thanksgiving, and this will be good, and it'll be a great meal." She said, "All I want are cheeseburgers." I said, "Cheeseburgers? That's not Thanksgiving, Mom. It's turkey, it's dressing, it's cranberries, it's all that." My mom said again, "All I want is cheeseburgers. That's it. And get it from McDonald's, and I like their coffee too." Well, I still tried to talk her out of it. So in my mind, it would be this special Thanksgiving with all the trimmings. But she was insistent. My mom was strong-willed, like me. I got a lot from her. But in this case, I knew that I needed to follow what she asked me. So I got everything. And of course, on Thanksgiving Day, the rectory was closed. It was just the two of us. And there were the cheeseburgers. And I have to tell you, I mean, at least initially when that meal, I offered a prayer, and I think I was genuinely thankful, but underneath I was also kind of perturbed. I wanted to be so much more special than this. And so we started, and I tried to get over that feeling inside of me that I was irritated at my mom on this last Thanksgiving. Well, God really helped break through and get to me through my mom, because as we were starting to eat, and I was, eating somewhat happy, but faking it somewhat, my mom said to me, "Norman, this is the best Thanksgiving I've had in years." And I said, "Well, why, Mom?" Wondering about that. And she said, "It's just the two of us. The doorbell's not ringing at the rectory. The phone's not ringing to try to find you for something. Here we are, the two of us, undisturbed, just each of us. We've been, wow, I'm going to cry. We've been a deep part of each other's lives, and this is good. You can see me tearing up now. And wow, did that turn for me thinking this is the worst Thanksgiving ever to this is the most wonderful Thanksgiving ever. My mother was right. The Lord spoke through her, spoke to me, and made a huge difference. And I've remembered that. My mom died the following June, but I remembered every Thanksgiving. A couple times, I don't know if I'll do it this year, a couple times I got cheeseburgers to remember her. And then later went to somebody else's house for turkey and all the trimmings. But anytime I get to McDonald's, and forgive me, I'm not trying to make this a commercial just for McDonald's, but a lot of times when I would go there, even in the summertime, and have a cheeseburger, I'd think of that special Thanksgiving day. What a memory. And so for me, I share that with you, and it is a reminder. The food that we have at Thanksgiving, it's wonderful. It should be good. We can enjoy it. We can savor it. At the same time, maybe this story reminds me, and maybe you too, of your own story. What we're called to savor most of all are our relationship with one another, the people who mean so much in our lives. Not the food that we're sharing, but the company we're with. Again, the food can be good, and it ought to be, but still mindful. Lord, the greatest gifts you ever give us is the gift of one another. And you gave us the gift of Jesus becoming human and sharing our love and our life. Reminds us that gift we find Jesus most of all. We find his real presence in communion for those among us who are Catholic. And we also find his real presence in one another if we're open in faith to a love that's both human and divine. Thanks. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy it and appreciate and be thankful for the gift of the wonderful people in your life. Thank you for being a gift to me. God bless you.